shot of heroin, and you said, ah, I like it, and you say, I want more of it. And it's as if the happening of the self, the me, is like a shot of heroin. You get a little, and it's like immediately it just builds. You're addicted to it. It's really an addiction. Let's look at it as an addiction.
What is an addiction?
The me. And the need for security is an addiction, and the me as like a shot of heroin, which offers that drug. In other words, you are yearning for security. I come along and say to you, look, I'm going to shoot you up with a little me, and you become, you know what I mean?
Let's begin. I understand what you mean. Let's begin again.
Okay, sure.
Why do we seek security?
Because we're insecure.
So, are we insecure?
Yes.
Or we imagine we are insecure? You understand my question?
Mm-hmm.
I want security. I must have security.
Mm-hmm.
Physical security, clothes, food, and shelter, and so on. I must have a job in this rotten society.
Right.
I must have somewhere where I can be quiet by myself, with my family, with whatever it is. Why have human beings, that's my fundamental question, have given importance to the me, to thinking I must protect myself? Because the world is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
It began probably, a million years ago, when man began to come into being. He had to protect himself. The wild animals, why everything was chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps from there began the origin that I must protect myself. Animals do.
Mm-hmm.
A deer which is being chased by a leopard, his instinct is to run away.
Right, right.
And unfortunately, the leopard is quick and catches him, kills him, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And also the deer escapes sometimes, fortunately. So from there, we have inherited this sense of I must protect myself.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm asking, is it possible to protect yourself in isolation? After all, the very idea of protecting myself brings about isolation.
Right, right.
Right? Now, is there security in isolation?
Well, if the deer runs away, is he seeking it in isolation?
No, poor thing, he just wants to survive.
Just wants to survive.
And also...
Was that possible, that maybe that's one of the things that causes the me, that he just wants to survive?
That's a natural instinct.
But I say maybe the me is
so physically I must survive.
Right.
Right?
Well, then we must get confused and think the me is physical survival.
No. Physically I need clothes, food,
Right.
and shelter. I must survive. I must have a job, and so on.
Right.
Yeah, room, and so on. Now, is there psychological survival at all?
No, but I just had a thought. There's no psychological survival.
Why do you say that? Who
Well,
say why? I mean, everybody wants to psychologically survive.
But actually, do you think
The me is the psyche.
right, right. But in some way, it's confused with the body.
Which is identified. Identification takes place because in identification I put out roots.
Exactly.
And having roots, I feel secure,
And you identify with your body.
which is my body,
Yes.
my name,
So I am my body,
Oh, yeah,
I am my name.
I am what I'm doing,
Exactly.
and so on.
But isn't that similar to what the deer is doing when he's running away?
No, a deer doesn't think about himself.
Exactly. But
There
I'm
is
saying
no
that there's a
thought.
crossover there.
There is no thought operating probably in the deer.
Okay, we'll accept
It
that.
just wants, frightened and runs.
Yes. And when we go into this me and identification,
Then all the trouble begins.
but isn't that in a way a sort of wrong continuity from the deer? You know what I mean?
Not quite.
Well, in the sense that you say we've inherited this need for survival, like from the
We
animal.
have inherited the instinct to survive.
So we've inherited the instinct
That's
to survive.
Sir, please let's admit one thing. It's natural instinct to survive.
Exactly.
It is, every little act of cell wants to survive.
Right, right.
And to survive physical necessities, I must have
Right.
job, and so on.
But a lot of people think me is a necessity.
Are you sure what you're saying?
Yes, I mean, I think that there's a
Me is essential. They haven't even examined what is the me.
but they still feel it as essential.
They feel, no sir, they feel in the me there is security.
Yes.
In the psyche, right? And I cling to the image of myself.
Exactly.
But we never examine what is the psyche. If there is clinging to something which I call me, may be an illusion. So we have to examine what is the psyche. Has it any ground on which it can stand firm? Or is it just a movement? A series of movements. I don't know if
I'm following you.
and these movements, experience and so on,
Right.
is the me.
Yes.
And I know nothing else.
Well, except one question that comes up there is that in the act of experiencing, there seems, as I'm looking at it, there's a sense that the me appears in the act of experience. In other words, it's all,
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute, just a minute. Is that so? I have an experience I had this morning. A car ran into me. It hurt me. And the pain is registered. The accident, the pain is recorded in the brain. And I remember it. I'll remember it for a month or two. And so I'm very careful after that,
right.
not to be run over, not to be knocked down. The remembrance has a continuity. That continuity is the self. The remembrance, I don't know,
Yes.
remembrance of things past, the incidents, the accidents, the pleasures, that memory has a continuity. Memory. And memory then says, I've had this experience. I must be careful. Right?
Right.
So there is no other factor than the continuity of memory.
Except next time I have an experience, what happens? I add it to that.
Of course.
Yes.
Continuous addition or subtraction.
Yes. So
So,
that's
now, is memory, to which I think, which is actually a continuity, what value has that? Apart from a skill, a doctor, you have to have a continuous memory in order to examine me. Right?
right.
A series of time, series of accumulation of knowledge and so on, you are the doctor. So there is only, I'm saying, continuity of memory. That's all. Memory is me. There is no separate me from memory. Right?
Right. Right.
And that gives me security.
What is that?
What?
The security you get in that memory.
Knowledge. Knowledge of my accident, of my pain, of pleasure, the things past. That is the structure of memory based on experience and knowledge.
I see. And
That brings to me a sense of, that brings a sense of continuity, which is the me. The me is not something separate from memory.
Right.
So memory is the only thing that continues.
And that's security.
Naturally.
Well, that's what gives
No,
us.
you see, sir, no. What has continuity seems to appear to give security.
That's the question. What's the
slowly, sir.
appearance?
Yeah. What memory is the only factor in our lives that has continuity. And that's a great,
Yes.
you won't say it? And what is memory?
It's the storing of
No,
the past.
things of the past, right?
Right.
Not of the future.
No, it's only the past.
Past.
It's only the past.
So we're going to discover something extraordinary, that is, the past has continuity. Modified, but the past continues. Right?
Right.
So, that which has continuity, though modified, is the only source of security.
That's
Anything that breaks up, death, say death, let's take death, that ends that continuity.
stops it. Yeah,
So I'm frightened of it.
exactly. Anything that interrupts that,
Continuity.
yes.
So, memory is the center of the psyche. And that memory has continuity, and therefore that which has a series of movements, similar movements, I feel safe. It brings a sense of safety, security. So memory brings security.
Right.
Right? Between. And is that security?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
I don't know. It's
And
not
how
secure.
can
It can't
no,
be secure.
just see what we have done.
Yes.
We human beings want continuity.
Yeah.
And that continuity we find in memory, in remembrance.